Hello and welcome to Plans to Prosper. I know it's been a minute. So I wanted to take a moment to give you an update on the spring summer garden and what I have done to winterize it. I've completed it all. I didn't record any of it. I'm just going to talk you through it, mostly because there was a lot of things I learned and I hope that it helps someone. First and foremost, as was stated in another video, my soil test revealed that I had very low nitrogen. So I bought feather meal and put that in. Well, feather meal is a slow release fertilizer. Subsequently, my garden took longer to grow. And I harvested peppers for the first time the last weekend of November. And harvested the rest of them the first weekend of December. So yeah, next time I will do the soil sample at least a month before I buy plants and get the information so I can prepare the soil. So I have pulled everything up and I've decided I'm going to try to overwinter my peppers, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. First, what I'm going to do is talk to you about what I did to winterize my garden. I bought compost because the compost experiment I did still hasn't really done all of what it needs to do. I bought compost, I bought more worm castings, and again, the feather meal. And then I put that on the surface of the dirt, mixed all three really well. And I put heavy amounts of worm castings, heavy amounts of the nitrogen, and mixed it all in together. And then I put gardening fabric over it and stapled it down. So let me take a moment to show you what that now looks like. Okay, so here's what the garden looks like. I've decided I'm gonna do my best to keep the those two front plants right there and right there. That is stevia. I'm gonna see if it can make it through the winter. It may not, I don't know. The other three plants behind it, it's actually three plants, is basil. And as you can see, it's gone to seed. It's not edible anymore because it's gonna be bitter. But again, why not just leave it in the ground, see what happens? More an experiment than anything. If it fails, it fails. It's no big deal whether I throw it away, pull it up and throw it away now or later, right? Why not try? So I'm going to try to see if the stevia and the basil will make it through the winter in my milder climate. We don't get snow here. So here's what it looks like with the garden fabric down, stapled down. This is the top tier, as you know. This is the middle tier. And then the lower tier I didn't put compost. I was thinking about it. What I did was I put more potting soil, the feather meal, and the worm castings. And the reason I did that is because you may remember from a prior video, this has so many rocks. I think this is where the previous owner just dumped their extra rocks, little rocks, that it just needs more soil. So I figured I can always add more compost in the spring if I decide to do something with this part of the garden. I took the trellis out and just placed it to the side. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did to attempt to overwinter the peppers. I dug them out and deeply, as carefully as I could. I put them in the pot, in a reused pot. So don't look at the labels on the pot because the label on the pot itself is wrong, but the flag inside the pot is correct. I then put worm castings and potting soil. And here's what those 5 peppers look like. So here they are, all in a row. I just finished heavy watering them. I might give them another water actually. So here are all 5 peppers. As you can see, they've been heavily trimmed. I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna take like these extra leaves off. I'm gonna make sure that the plant is focused on root development. So that's why they are trimmed the way they are. Plenty of nodules, plenty of growth ability. So I'm excited about that. Here's the peppers. Okay. What I don't know is where I'm going to put them. I think I might put them in my garage. Because I can water them from a hose that I have out in front of the house. That's my only question, but I think I might put them in my garage. And we'll see what happens. The reason I've decided to try to overwinter them is because they worked so hard and did produce eventually. You know, like I said, last week, the weekend of November, first weekend of December, I was pulling the peppers off. And by not buying them as starts, they've already got a head start with root development and growth that I can't buy at the nursery this way. So I'm going to do my best to overwinter them. The most successful pepper plant was by far the Serranos, which just was so thrilling. Yeah, so that's kind of where that is. I'm thinking as I go here. I am, all in all, I am pleased. We did get a few tomatoes. They were smaller, on the smaller side again because of the nitrogen. And the watermelon didn't produce anything. And the zucchini didn't produce anything. And I think I mentioned on an earlier video that the cucumber just died. Again, that was in that 3rd tier where it's very rocky, so it didn't have much of a chance. So that's kind of sums up the 2023 spring and summer garden experience that I had. I am hopeful that my efforts today in preparing the soil for overwintering will produce good fruit come spring. I will, like I said, do a soil sample at least a month before I buy any starts or attempt to replant the pepper plants, etc. And I don't know, I'm excited. I actually am so very optimistic about the next spring, summer. I am not going to put anything in the ground for winter. I just really want to see if I can get a really good head start for spring, summer. Okay, so I'm talking in circles. Thank you so much for watching. If you've come this far in the video, I really, truly appreciate it. And as always, may you be slathered in shalom. All my best to you. Happy holidays. See you next spring. Bye-bye.